Good morning. We're here about 6-8 miles above my home up the Payette River from the little town side of Loman. Got to cut a big pine tree, a fair-sized one anyway, get it out of this fellow's yard. And this is in an area where we know there's been people for a long time. Just talking with a couple of the guys that live right here close, and there's an old fella, this peak up behind us here, big high peak the Forest Service lookout is on, and you can view it on the internet, I know too. You'll see some videos about it. It's Jackson Peak, and the Forest Service lookout is Jackson Peak Lookout. And it was named after this fella John Jackson that was here at the turn of the century, if not well before, and died here I think in 1932. And his grave is about the only grave I know of in Loman, is just right over here, not very far away. So there's been people around these flats through the years a long time, and why that's particular notice is we find things like this even where there aren't people. You see this chunk I brought along with me out of a tree I was cutting along the highway with a railroad spike right in it. You see the chain went right along there. Of course that was the end of that chain, but that had actually grown in to that tree somewhere in the neighborhood of a couple inches. The tree had grown on beyond it, and a railroad spike somebody used to picket their horses out with or something. This was along the highway on a production job I was doing, but there's no history of anybody ever living around there that I knew of. So it was quite a weird thing when that happened. But here in a place like this where we know there's people, been people, we're gonna take a good look at this tree before we start biting into it. See if there's any hardware in it. Yeah, it'd be a good idea, wouldn't it, huh? Yeah. Well, we're going to take a look at this pine. It's been dead for a couple, 3 years at least, and one of the neighbor men here, he wanted to get it out of his yard, and this is a hole we're going to place it in because there's nowhere else to go. No sense in climbing and limbing this tree when chunking it down when we got one hole for it. Although you can see how thick the timber is all through here, and we wouldn't want to lay it on these guys, but we got a house and a fence, stuff all the way around here, so one good big fine hole that it'll fit in, and that's where we'll put it. Well, we've looked it over pretty good and I don't see anything in it, so we'll get the undercut in here. You'll notice when I put this undercut in here, I'm going to put a traditional cut in, and I'm going to leave a high stump. The owners here, they want to have a little table by their horseshoe pit, so this will make a good one. come off there and give you a view down here.
Excellent job. Wonderful job, Bruce.
Well, it's perfectly in the hole, but there's so much limbwood on there.
Yeah.
We've taken out one of these little pines.
Well, I told him that may happen, and he said that's okay.
Yeah, that's the way it goes when you live out west.
Yeah,
right?
and I took the picnic table all the way and moved the garbage barrel and the fuel barrel down.
Yeah, I go along with that. Well, we're going to take the limbs off of this thing and make a few little short saw logs out of it. There's a neighbor across the street here who's got a little sawmill, and they'll make a few boards and a lot of firewood out of it. Come unplugged.
Yep, we did.
Turn my throttle up. I'm pretty good on the dumb end of the tape. there it is, laid down, laid to rest, all worked up.
I'll go ahead and cut that tree down that broke, and get it all over, put with his other wood here.
Sure.
And clean the limbs up and get it out of the way. And am I getting on your video?
No.
Am I talking?
Oh yeah.
All right.
That's all right. Well, there it is, folks. A job done. Hopefully done well. God bless you. See you next time.
Place too.
Well, here's the grave of John Jackson. You see his marker there, and this is a sign the Forest Service put up some years ago. I don't know if you can read the dates there, but born 1845 and died in 1932. July 15th, 1932. From Sweden he was. The old Swede never made it back to Sweden, and he went home to be with Jesus. Well, that's the only grave we know about in Lowman, and it's an old one from 1932.